In today's story, a 22-year-old woman is bound by multiple sets of handcuffs only to be roasted alive by a sick and twisted individual. What? This is a kid's show.
Funny.
Get ready to burn, 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 all my fellow feature outlaws. This is his card game First Humanity, and I'm that NAKK double G. Back with a recap of that little lovely show called Yu-Gi-Oh! You know, the one where the god of all chickens finally gets his revenge on humanity for its sins. So as per usual, if you enjoyed, don't forget that sub, that bell, that like, hit up the Patreon if you want to support me. Leave a comment telling me if you think it was actually necessary to have an entire extra episode where we had maybe 2 minutes of full dueling. It's like Vince McMahon wrote this shit or something. But enough about that, let's head back to the duel, shall we, with Mai having the golden ball in her court now. He seemingly now commands the strongest monster in all of Duel Monsters. Unfortunately though, Marik is the only one that knows how to unlock the Wonder Ball hidden inside, which will allow him to regain control of his monster and trap her mind for all of eternity.
Your mind will be trapped here. Now as for my...
Did he really just smile at that? Are we sure Yugi purged all the evil out of him, or is it like a situation where he needs a refresher once a year? Too bad for Mai, only people with knowledge of the ancient scriptures can summon Ra. Those scriptures that were made by those people that set the rules for everything that no one ever talks about or ever mentions. Haven't you checked out the bottom of the card yet? It has some text on it that wasn't there before. Why don't you try reciting it? Weren't you alive 5,000 years ago? But really wants to know what's on the card, so he tells Mokuba to use the satellite to read and translate it for him. I guess technology of that power is able to just penetrate the shadow realm. We're just not gonna ask questions on that one. Also, I'm not really sure how Mokuba's able to leave when they're already inside it. I guess the shadow realm doesn't have a floor or something. The text was written in some super secret code that only high-ranking and wealthy scholars could understand. Ishtar family being one of them, the only other way to access this information is to be obscenely rich, so he just kind of assumes that Kaiba can read it as well.
Pegasus printed the words in an ink that can only be seen when the monster is summoned.
Oh yes, that ink with that special material that has a conscious awareness of the fact that it's on a piece of cardboard within the structures and rules of a children's card game. I completely forgot that ink existed. I finally realized this all along, that she was just too much of a minor character to be able to control Ra. That somehow Marik planned this all from the start because somehow he knew she was going to use one of the maybe 3 cards in the game that allow her to take a card from his deck. After 7 minutes of just talking, I finally remembers that she's in a duel and sets one card face down, accepting the fact that she'll have to end her turn. Luckily that face down card is Gravity Bind, a card that will surely be able to stop a god with no issues whatsoever. Marik shows off what a real bad boy he is by summoning Holding Legs, another kinky piece from the basement, and unfortunately bounces Mai's trap card back to her hand before attacking directly.
And played alongside Holding Arm, it calls forth the sacred stone of Uja.
Okay, seriously, what is that tablet that just comes out when they're both normally summoned? What is this thing? Is it a magic card, monster, trap card? Like, generally, what in the hell is the point of this thing other than being a BDSM podium?
Hey, I can't move! What kind of hologram is this?
Were you not paying attention when Kaiba was speaking? He said he spared no expense. Actually, the most sexually dressed character in the show is the one that gets bonded up by Marik's monsters against this tablet thing that no one knows what the fuck it is. Attacking her with both monsters, bringing her down to 800 life points. Because I guess he'll just be able to recite the chant and summon Ra during the battle phase. A chant that goes a little something like this.
Drink yeast of the rye, taste so good I could die. Transform thyself from orb of wonder and bring me satisfaction to my hunger. Lock your flavor from deep within so that together we can surely din. Appear in this kitchen upon my plate because I can no surely longer wait. Winged Dragon of Ra!
I might have got a couple of lyrics wrong. Ra gets a devastating entrance and finally shows itself off in a duel. Now with a staggering 5,400 attack points thanks to the 3 tributed harpies by Mai. A Mai that's apparently being changed to this tablet that still no one will explain to me what it is. Oh, by the way, Mai, I know this might be a bad time to ask, but I was just wondering if you want to go out to dinner this weekend.
No!
Damn, girl, you didn't have to say it like the world was ending. Simple no thank you would have sufficed. Yugi yells at Marik to end this madness. The dispute is with me and not members of my faction. I promise if you stop, I'll sit here and listen to you talk about the tattoo on your back all day. I'll listen to you complain about your family's great honor that brought you nothing but pain and suffering. And to be fair, your father was a hell of a dick, so you're not 100% wrong.
I have to figure out the secret written on Marik's back!
You haven't figured it out yet? It says, Yugi, please marry me. Only 12 minutes into this episode that has far, far more talking than I remember, good God. So he decides he's finally had enough and runs up onto the dueling arena to save his beloved's perfect boobies. I mean, his beloved. And I mean, I understand. The world can't lose such a treasure. I mean, you know, my Valentine, the person, of course. Nolan yells at Joey to get off the stage, or yes, you guessed it, he'll be DQ'd. Unfortunately for him, Joey calls his bluff and doesn't give a damn, making him very sad because he knew that's the only card he had to play. Running quickly up to Mai to explain that, hey, yo, I got a lot of experience with these things, so I'll get you out of these handcuffs in a jiffy. Just ignore that fiery god behind us charging up its fiery attack to unleash upon us both. Unfortunately for Joey, though, the acid is starting to kick in real hard and Mai can't see anything in front of her face, forcing him to hold her face in what you think's gonna be a makeout scene, but he knows if he plays the friend Chad card right now that she'll be hooked for life afterwards. Raw is taking goddamn forever to charge, so long that Joey has time to tell a story and flashback to the time about the lightning coma dream that we've seen twice already.
No, I told you that you weren't in that dream, Mike. Sorry, but you were there.
I'm sorry I said you weren't there, Ma, but you were there. I'm also sorry my script was written by 4 kids. Miraculously, Joey's willpower, or just his lack of faith in anything but card games, enough to shatter Marik's shadow magic, causing him to bitch about it for another 2 minutes while Raw continues charging. Ma yells at Joey to just run away and save himself before Raw finally attacks in a few hours. Joey is ready to be destroyed together. I still want to know what the fuck that tablet thing is, though. Is it a monster? Is it a magic? Is it a trap card? Does it have an effect? What is it? Just before Molchus can unleash its fire blast, Yugi jumps up onto the stage and uses Negate Attack with his massive bulking shoulders.
I'll be able to destroy Yugi even sooner than I thought I would.
Yeah, but according to the rules that you're so goddamn caught up on, if you did that, you wouldn't be able to win this puzzle or his god card, and you wouldn't be able to rule the world anymore. You'd just be screwed. This attack from Ra is really lasting a long time, you think? I mean, it's been like a full 50 seconds already. No wonder my boy Yugi ends up face first on the floor looking a little crispy. Immediately, Roland announces Marik as the winner of this duel. Immediately heads over to Mai and Joey and definitely doesn't threaten him with some sort of stab item that he pulls out of his Millennium Rod. Instead, just using Thunder Wave to paralyze poor Joey while he heads over to Mai to have his way with her.
Enter a duel uninvited.
Joe!
Oh, what's that thing? A very sharp and pointy stick hidden within the Millennium Rod. I wonder where that came from. I mean, it's anyone's guess, but all I can say is naughty, naughty boy. Since Marik is a bad boy, he sits down in front of Mai, holding her chin before saying, hey, give me back my card, scrub. I do believe it's time for me to keep my promise and send you to the Shadow Realm, aka my basement. But wait, no, in a shocking M. Night Shyamalan twist, Marik actually decides to take us all to the beach instead. Except for Mai, who lost the duel and is forced to watch everyone look more attractive than her in a bathing suit, as this is a world where the bigger your chest, the less attractive you are. We then get a scene of Mai and Joey doing their best impression of me and my father.
Don't leave me here!
Later.
Marik says his power is growing with every person he manages to put in the hospital, casually walking away before the episode ends with Kaiba yelling at everyone to get those dead bodies off my dueling arena. It's my turn to duel. Well, that's it for this week's episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and of course a shout out to all my patrons. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have anything clever to say. I just want to know what the hell that tablet thing is. I just want to know. This has been the man from Earth. Finally, wow. Wow. Oh, by the way, oh, hey, Mai, I know that, oh, hey, Mai, that, which will allow him to get, Willem Dafoe.